Hey, it's the Lunatic from the woods here, out here in the middle of the woods, having a good time, soaking up that sun. Beautiful, sunny, cold day, middle of the winter here. So yeah, what I'm going to talk about is aliens, how they put DMT in the third eye. Yeah, kind of a funny title. I'm just gonna throw out a little disclaimer once I get started here. So guys, like I don't suggest anybody try this, mess around with this. You're gonna get yourself into a lot of trouble. I did. I mean, there's been tons of people that have gone completely insane from doing this. So yeah, don't try it. I'm just sharing my experience. So the third eye, the trigger point's like right here. If you guys see the Indian people with the oil and stuff right here, they know about this. They practice it. And the actual third eye is in the middle, like right here, like in the middle of the two hemispheres of your brain. So there's all kinds of like myths and stuff that there's DMT in the pineal gland. And DMT is like, that's the most powerful psychedelic drug on the planet. So yeah, somehow I got this to release. It started out as a prayer. I was praying to God. I wanted to understand people. And everything started pointing out to the third eye. Third eye. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to try it. It was like 2016, so I had my very first iPhone. So I wasn't used to like all the information, just being flooded with information like we are now. Like everybody has an iPhone now. And we're just so used to just using it all the time. But when I first got it, like I very first got it. I mean, I think I had it for like a month before that whole thing happened. And not even knowing what the chakras were or anything, or that there was multiple chakras. I was just like, the third eye, what the heck is that? I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to try to open it. I'm going to see what happens. And if you guys are interested in like some of the hallucinations and like all the weird stuff that was happening, you could watch like the first video that I made. It's just called The Third Eye. But yeah, so I started doing this, and I just meditating very heavily for weeks, just all the time. I used to be a cable technician, so it was like it was even a slow time of year. It was very slow. So we were just kind of sitting around chilling in the truck. So I would meditate in the truck too. And then I'd meditate when I got home. So after a while, I started, it started to secrete, the DMT. And completely insane. It was like, I really believe that like I was seeing things that like people are just not able to see. I don't think, I think that stuff was actually there and we just can't perceive it. Like I was on a whole different level of perceiving. It was like when I would close my eyes, it was like something was pumping me with like information and everything. It was almost like I could see into people's souls and stuff. Like it got really weird, but I go way more into that later. And I just kept researching the hell out of it. And that's when I found out what actually happened. So anyway, I mean, there's all kinds of myths about it. That aliens put it there. I even heard like magic mushrooms and stuff, that's like something that aliens left behind. It very well could be. I would like to hear what other people think. um, I don't really go too far into that. I mean, that's a little like out there even for me. um, so yeah, just completely insane experience. And then I'm reading all these things, and these yogis in the caves and stuff. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to activate that, and people go to extreme measures to activate this thing. If you want to look up Kachari Mudra, they trim the inner windings of their tongue, so they could slip it up there, and they push on it, to go into this crazy like DMT trip. People put like holes in their head. That's why these guys are standing on their, doing handstands, standing on their heads. That's why these yogis like are in caves, like completely isolated. Crazy stuff, but for whatever reason, it released. And I would not recommend it. I talked to a lot of people, and they were like, you're lucky that you even came back from that. And I was like, they're like, you could go insane by doing that. And I'm like, well, yeah, I know that now. Like, I didn't know that like 10 years ago. Or I think it was like 9 years ago. But yeah, I mean, really, really strong. Like, imagine trying to live your life like that. I remember it was warm outside, so it was in the spring when I did it. All through the spring, all through the summer, and finally in November, December, it started to die down. So what is that, like 7-8 months or something? And it's still, even to this day, every once in a while, I could feel it. Like it's like a pressure, like right here. Really wild stuff. Even just recently, I could read people a lot, like 1,000 times better than I could before I even did this. They're, my masseuse, because anyone who follows my channel, they know that I have like back problems and stuff like that. She I knew that she kind of like knew something about it, so I was asking her about it, and she like, she was actually like some kind of witch or something. She was telling me she's some kind of witch, and she knew her friend used to do all this stuff, and her friend like went on a whole, she's another level, and it like freaked her out. Like, she didn't want to have anything to do with it, because she actually had like entities like touch her and like put bruises on her and stuff. I was like, whoa. I mean, at night it got weird. Like, I mean, I could see, I had to sleep with the lights on. At 38 years old, I'm sleeping with the lights on. Scared out of my freaking mind. Because I could see things moving around in the dark. It was like, there was like people or something moving around. Like, and I had no idea what I did until later. So I was like, I got to figure out what the heck I actually did. But that was like the very beginning of my whole spiritual thing, like about 10 years ago. And then it went into all kinds of different stuff. And that was like 9 years ago. So yeah, tell me what you guys think. Is this like aliens, or what's going on here? Why is that even there? It raises so many more questions. You answer one question and it brings up 1,000 more questions. And even with that, I mean, it kind of makes me laugh that, you ask these, I talk about a lot of questions that like people can't even answer and stuff. And And they're like, well, let me break this down for you. This is how. I'm like, no, like, it's not, you don't get it. Like, it's not really anyway. Like, these are just thoughts. You know, reality doesn't care about this little chimpanzee language that we're talking about. God doesn't care about it. We perceive less than 0.5%. Like, you're never going to figure stuff like this out completely. I mean, you could have a vague understanding of it, but that's all it really boils down to. So yeah, this is the Lunatic from the woods here. A little blurb on the third eye. I felt like talking about the third eye, breaking up the retention videos a little bit, from getting away from that male chastity for a little bit. For any of you guys who are interested in the third eye, I think there was a couple people. But yeah, if you want to hear more about the hallucinations and stuff, I talk about that in my other third eye video. You guys could check that out. For whoever's messing around with that, God bless you, and you know, just stay away from it. Yeah, that's my advice. So yeah, check out my shop. This is the Lunatic from the woods. I got journals and stuff. You guys could journal, all kinds of cool stuff. Coffee cups, t-shirts, like that channel. You know, share a little picture of the sun every morning. You have a little cup of coffee or tea. Get that sunrise pic if you subscribe. You guys have a blessed day, and that's all I have.